We all have that one friend that seems to eat whatever they want and not gain weight. Well, in this video we're going to break down how this is possible and how you can stay in shape doing the same thing. I'll tell you now though that it can't be solely attributed to a fast metabolism or just good genetics. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please subscribe and click the notification icon for more future content. It's important to first understand why you gain weight. We all have a certain number of calories that our body needs to maintain our current weight. When we supply our body with too much energy or calories, it will result in weight gain. When we supply our body with an insufficient number of calories, it will utilize readily available energy storage or fat. This certain number is our total daily energy expenditure, which I have alluded to in other videos. But what actually is it? Your TDEE is made up of your BMR, exercise expenditure, TEF or thermic effect of food, and your NEET or non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Let's first talk about NEET, which is the most important to understand since it's the most common reason behind how some people can seemingly eat whatever they want and not gain weight. NEET includes all of your daily activities that one would consider to be formal exercises, like fidgeting, brushing your teeth, or walking to your car. Although these aren't considered forms of exercise, they do burn calories. NEET can be further broken down into occupation or leisure activities. Your job or your activity level has a huge effect on how many calories you burn throughout the day, which explains how someone may be able to get away with eating more calories. For example, let's compare the activity level of a receptionist versus a waiter or a waitress. Think about how physically active the waiter or waitress is throughout their shift. They are on their feet the whole time and they are walking back and forth for hours on end. On the other hand, the receptionist is seated and is very sedentary throughout their shift. It is obvious that the waiter or waitress would be able to get away with eating more food throughout the day than the receptionist simply because they are burning significantly more calories. Let's also look at how leisure activities affect NEET. Let's say for example person A comes home from work and watches Netflix and gets on social media for the remainder of the night. They may burn an additional 200 to 300 calories throughout the night sitting and casually walking around the house. Person B comes home from work and mows the grass, goes shopping, and cleans their house. This person might burn an additional 800 to 1200 extra calories throughout the night. Since person B is much more active, they are increasing the amount of energy that their body needs to maintain their current weight, which would explain why certain people seem to eat more than the next person and not suffer the consequences. Just from these examples, I'm sure you can see how NEET can play such a big role in fat loss and the ability to eat more without gaining weight, and it definitely can. Studies show that NEET can differ as much as 2,000 calories between two different individuals in a given day based on their activity level. Studies also show that lean and healthy individuals have a higher NEET than obese individuals, which allows you to make sense on why some people are so good at staying at a healthy weight. It is simply because they stay active throughout the day in one way or another. Acute overeating can also have an effect on your NEET. If you eat more than usual, you may experience that you are fidgeting more or moving around more. This is a subconscious reaction to your body receiving more energy than it is used to, which could cause additional calories to be used. Again, NEET is so important to look into because it's what you're doing for 22 hours of your day outside of the gym. You can imagine how that 300 calorie sweat fest on the treadmill could become negligible if you don't move too much the rest of the day. Exercise is great, but you have to account for how active you are outside of the gym to determine how many calories is sufficient for your body composition goals. We should also consider the impact of the thermic effect of food. TEF is the calories your body burns processing, absorbing, digesting, and storing your food intake. Thus, the more you eat, the more energy your body requires to complete this process. However, we shouldn't use this as an excuse to overeat, as it seems to contribute to a small percentage of our daily energy expenditure. Our next factor is exercise expenditure, which is how many calories you burn throughout the day through formal exercise. The duration and intensity of exercise can greatly impact our body's need for calories to accommodate for levels of exertion and recovery. Lastly, we have BMR. BMR is the number of calories your body would require if you did not move for 24 hours, so just to complete internal processes. The bigger you are, the more calories you would need, and vice versa. All of these factors combined give an individual their budget of calories or how much they can eat and not gain weight. Let's think about why we think someone can eat whatever they want and not receive the same consequences as if we were to do the same. It's probably because you see them eat often, or they eat a lot of junk food, or they eat huge meals. This may be so, but what we don't see is what they're eating or doing for the rest of the day. Oftentimes, people who seem to eat junk food for the majority of their diet or eat way too much for their size and get away with it are either one of two people. Number 1 being they don't eat that much the rest of the day, or number 2, they are very physically active throughout the day. Both of these scenarios put the allegedly lucky person under their calorie requirements, whether they know it or not. The bottom line is these so-called lucky individuals aren't eating as much as they think, or they are making up for their poor dieting habits by being very physically active. Gaining or losing weight is all about energy balance, so no one can eat whatever they want or however much they want and not gain weight. It's physically impossible. Most often, these people are overestimating how much they are really eating throughout the day. So even if it seems like your friend can eat whatever they want and not gain weight, it's not true. If they were to eat more calories than their body required or decrease their overall activity levels, they would pack on the weight. If you feel you are a victim to a slow metabolism or subpar genetics, make sure you are evaluating your activity levels as a whole. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you share with your friends and leave a like, and be sure to be on the lookout for more informational videos soon to help you ace your fitness.